Hey, hello everybody and welcome in a new video. In this video, I want to show you how to install a lightweight Kubernetes cluster, and we will do it in two parts. In the first part, we'll just install K0s, this is a lightweight Kubernetes cluster, and in the second part, we'll install the same cluster but with Vagrant to create automatically our virtual server and install K0s automatically into our virtual server. So let's go. What we can say about our lightweight choice, you have many lightweight Kubernetes cluster. You have, for example, a really well-known Minikube or MicroK8, for example, about the Ubuntu company, or other stuff about Rancher company, K3s, etc. So why this choice and why we learn it in this video? Because in the next video we will learn some stuff about Kubernetes. We need to practice the command line in the terminal, but I don't want to show you how to install a complex Kubernetes cluster, because we need to well understand before some stuff, and I prefer to show you a complex installation, for example manually, but with Ansible, etc. Later. So let's go. I have a virtual server here, and in the second part of this video I show you how to create a virtual server with Vagrant. So stay tuned and don't forget to subscribe to my channel to not miss next video, of course. Let's go. To install K0s, this is really easy. You can go, for example, on sorry, I need to switch. You can go on your browser and just add install K0s. For example, I think we are on Ubuntu server. Just I check it. What we have? No, this is a Debian virtual server. Okay, we can just add Debian, and we have of course the documentation of K0s, and you can see we just need to run a simple curl and pipe sudo sh command to run the script, of course. Be careful. Okay, we can trust K0s because this is Mirantis tools, but don't forget that sometimes a hacker can just inject shell script like this, and if you don't check before your script here and you pipe a sudo shell, you don't see anything, and maybe you just install a malware on your laptop or virtual server. So don't forget to learn about it. And if you want to just install a specific version, you can see here, you can specify it with environment variable like this. Okay, so I had it, so yes, I just want to be root on my virtual server. It's easy and it's quick to do that. What I have, cannot create text file busy. What is it? So I can check again what I do on my script. So it seems to be the same script here. Downloading, cannot create text busy. Oh yes, I know. So I can recreate just my virtual server. So I destroy my virtual server K0s10. So we'll see it just after, but I like Vagrant because you can see we have a command line, we have some prompt. If you want, you can add your own prompt. This is really interesting tool. So K0s10. So I don't want to install anything. So this is my prompt. For example, here, this is, we'll see it, but this is my own prompt here. And this is me. I want to choose if I want to install K0s or no. In my case here, I just want to have a simple virtual server with nothing on it. So I start it. Okay. That take so now Vagrant just use VirtualBox behind the hood. So you need to install Vagrant and you need to install VirtualBox. So this is quite easy. Sudo apt install Vagrant and VirtualBox. Just wait, and all stuff will be done by your apt command. So now we have a virtual server, Vagrant, connect on it with SSH, and run some script because I have my own script before to install anything, just to customize it. For example, I want to have my bash aliases or stuff like that. So I like to have my own script before. So I go on my server. So I use Vagrant, like here, Vagrant SSH K0s10. This is the name of my virtual server, and now I am on it. And of course, like I said, I have just a custom bash. This is why that I want to run some script before and during the installation. So now, yes, I run again the curl script, and now it works. We just download the get.k0s.sh for shell, pipe sudo shell. Just waiting a few seconds, and during this second, the K0s tool install just the K0s CLI, and now we can install our cluster. So for now, we don't have any cluster in our virtual server. If I do just yes, we have nothing on our server. So to install it, what we can do, we want to have only one cluster with a standalone node on it. So that means that we have a master and a worker on the same node on our virtual server here. So to do that, we just run K0s and install argument and add controller. That means we want to create a master, and -- single to install the master and the worker on the same node. So I run it, and now the previous command, the install command here, just set some element and component into a specific configuration file. You can go on the documentation if you want to have more details about it. And now we can just start our cluster. To do that, we run K0s start, and we can go in K0s status. And now we waiting our cluster to be up. So we need to wait few seconds. Okay, it's now okay, and now I think we have our Kubernetes cluster. I can check again. Okay, so to check it, we can just run K0s and kubectl get node kubectl get node. Don't have any resource. Sorry, nodes. Here, and now you can see we have our first server into our cluster. So this is the same node about where we are, and this node is master and worker. this is not the common usage. Usually we have some nodes for master. I already introduced you this concept, and aside of it, we can have one or many worker nodes on your cluster. Okay, so you can see here I use K0s and kubectl get node. That means I can't use directly here kubectl get node, but to have a similar way to use Kubernetes like in production or development or staging, I want to use kubectl directly, not with the wrapper K0s. So to do that, I need to install kubectl and to install the authentication about our cluster. So to do that, it's really easy. I need to install kubectl before. So you can go on your browser here and add install kubectl. We are on Debian, and you can find the documentation about it. It's quite easy to do it, and like the previous command for K0s, we have the same command, or maybe a little bit different, with a curl to install what we need for kubectl. So I use the kubectl here to download the kubectl binary, like here, and with a specific version, no specific version, so this is the latest version, I think. We download the binary, it's a little binary because it is a Go language, and just after that I run install -o root j root the permission kubectl, and so kubectl is where we are, and we want to push it into our path in USR local bin directory. So I do that, and now if I just run kubectl, I tab, and now we have kubectl. Okay. And I want to use kubectl as a vagrant, not as root. It's quite easy to do it, because we just need to create the in the vagrant home directory hidden directory K0s, like here, and I want to ensure that I am the owner of this directory, but it's me who has created it, so it seems to be good, I think. And after that, what I want to do, I want to copy, so we'll see it later in the next video, how we can be authenticated and authorized by a Kubernetes cluster and by the API server, because kubectl send request to the API server. And to do that, we need to have some certificate to be authenticated. So certificate is here in varlib K0s, but this is really specific to K0s. We'll see it later for Kubernetes. And this is what we name kubeconfig. Sometimes you can see kubeconfig blah blah. You can see env variable named kubeconfig also. And we want to push the kubeconfig file. So this is admin.conf file in home vagrant.k0s and kubeconfig. This is the name of our file. So we can check that we have it here, and you can see here we have some certificate, client certificate, a key for our client. This is our own certificate, the certificate data, and the cluster here for the TLS, the cluster certificate for authority. So this is the CA about the TLS of our Kubernetes cluster. And our Kubernetes cluster just answers us on this IP. This is the IP of Vagrant. It's a bad idea to use this IP, because if you have many nodes deployed with Vagrant, this IP is the same for each node, so it's better to use your own the own IP of your cluster, like your server, like here. And you can use, for example, here, not this one, like I said, but this one, okay? In our case, we have only one server, so it's not a problem, because when we use kubectl, we directly use the good IP and the good route about it. After that, I just want to check that the file is my own file, and I want to export the kubeconfig, like here, to just say to kubectl that our kubeconfig is in this directory. Okay, so I can use now kubectl get node, and I can see I have the same output about the K0s wrapper, K0s kubectl get node. Perfect. So now we have a cluster. We'll see later how we can use kubectl. We have many stuff to learn about it, of course. But now what I want to do, I want to destroy all things. So I can go ahead and exit my virtual server, and I can destroy it. So Vagrant destroy -f to force. I don't want a prompt to say me, do you really want to destroy your server? No, I'll be sure to destroy it. So it's okay, I destroy it. And now I explain you how we can just ensure to have it automatically. So to have it automatically, what we have just before here, we have some files, and this directory is automatically added by Vagrant, so don't take care about it. And aside of it, we have the main file, which is the Vagrant file with uppercase here. This is really important. And aside of it, we can add some shell script, for example. If you want to play with Vagrant, you can use directly, for example, Ansible or SaltStack, stuff like that. But in our case, I prefer to use a bash script, because many people can read easily a bash script. So this is a good idea, I think, to use it. And if I open just this directory into our Visual Studio Code, what I have the Vagrant file. So the Vagrant file is like a loop, and this is in Ruby language. If you want to learn Ruby, it's a good idea to begin with the Vagrant file and try to create variables and handle your variable. We begin with a Vagrant loop here to configure some element, to say we want to configure something. So this is a key, and you can, like in a loop, you can use a variable to iterate with this variable. And here we have config, and sometimes we use this config here, but this is like we are into our element here. If you want to use the cache here, maybe you can comment it if you want. But if you want to use the cache to be fast when you spawn your virtual server, you can add plugin cache here. This one, but it's not necessary. Just after that, I create two variables in Ruby, empty variable, to be sure that which variable I use into my Vagrant script and Ruby script. And in the first part, I use a case on argv0. What is argv0? This is the argument of our Vagrant CLI. For example, here you can see we have provision and up, and previously, for example, here we have destroy. So destroy, this is the first argument, and the first argument is the 0 here. And for example, if you want to just use this case and run something on the destroy when we handle a destroy, you can do it like that, to say when destroy I want to run some stuff. I don't know what, but it is like that. And you have the provision or up command. Remember that in our history, if you go here, we use VU. This is an alias for me, but this is like Vagrant up K0S10, like this. And argv0, of course, is up here. Now, I want to prompt to ask something of the user of my script, my Vagrant script, and I ask to my user, like we saw previously, do you want to install a K0S, yes or not? So this is at the user to do the choice, and after that, this is in the Ruby language, I want to set my previous variable with the result about this question. So to do that, I just want to capture, to gather the stdin and get it and write it into the K0S variable. Okay, I print just a return line. After that, I close the case here, and after that I can create some variables, because I said we want to run some bash script, but if you want, you can run some bash script with a specific file, like here for K0S or xavkey.sh. But if you want, you can edit a variable, like here, a common variable, and add some tag, like here, to say I start a shell script and I end a shell script here, and between these two tags I have my shell script, and this is what we have into the common variable. So here I just apt update, apt install, and I want to install some stuff to have it into our virtual server. After that, I just reconfigure my SSH to, if I want to directly use SSH, not Vagrant SSH command, I can do it after the provisioning. I just keep it here, we'll see it later, but in one or two videos, we'll see how to use Docker and how we use Docker Compose element, and for a specific application, how to migrate it into our Kubernetes cluster, but we'll see it later, of course. After that, I want to specify which box. This is Vagrant use the concept of box. Box is just like an image, like an ISO, for example. And in our case, we want to use a Debian with the Bookworm 64 box. So this is the URL where we can find the box, and here this is the name of the box. After that, I create a new variable, but in uppercase. This is a really important variable named nodes. And in this variable, this is a list, and this is a list of hash map, like here, where we have some key, for example, host name, IP, CPUs, memory, mem, and type. In our case, we want to create two servers, but we don't really need to have two servers. We can just, for example, remove this one and we give an host name for our server, K0s10, an IP. In my case, I use this IP. Be careful, but if you install VirtualBox, maybe this IP usage is not allowed by default, so you need to edit the /etc VirtualBox and the configuration to allow this IP or this range of IP. The CPU, so I want to have 4 CPU to be easy with Kubernetes, and the memory 4 gig of RAM. It's quite to be good. And after that, so I want to have a DNS into our virtual server, and to do that, it's easy. In my mind, I think we can edit the /etc host, and to do that, I use the same tricks like here. I want to edit a variable with echo, like here, and this is like we add in our /etc host etc host variable echo, in the first line echo, the IP, the host name, double chevron, and /etc host, etc., because this is a loop with our nodes variable. So if you want, you can add some element here, of course. So after that, I run the installation and the provisioning for each VM. To do that, I use again the node variable here. This is like we take the first line, and if you have many lines, we take the first line, the second line, and another iterative element. And so we create the node iteration. This is the first line here. And for this first line, we want to get, for example, the host name here, and we want to define it in the config. And we do in loop again. So this is a loop in loop with CFG, and CFG we set the host name. This is VM here said to VirtualBox, and the node name, the IP, we set the IP of our server, and some element about and some specifications about our server, for example, CPUs, memory, some tricks here to provision faster. The host name again, because we have the host name. The host name is set into Vagrant, and also into our VirtualBox hypervisor. So after that, we have a virtual server here, provision, and we want, after that, we have a virtual server up here, and we want to run some script. So for example, we want to run the install xavkey.sh here, and to do that, we have here the shell script. This is my aliases, for example, and we have some aliases about Kubernetes, and we have here another mode of shell provisioning. Here, this is the path. The path is for shell script, a dedicated shell script, and we have the mode, the inline mode here for etc host variable. This is here, and the common here for all this block, like we said previously, and Docker if we have something to run into our Docker variable here. But all lines is commented here. After that, of course, we have asked to our user if we want to use K0s previously, and we have the result about it in K0s here. So this is a variable, k0s is a variable. So we just here say if we have a node with the type k0s, so all nodes here have k0s, and if k0s variable is set to yes, we want to run a provisioning shell with the pass mode and install k0s.sh. So now we close all things here, and after that we need to install, of course, k0s. So what is the process to install k0s? We create a bash function named install k0s, a first function to wait to have the API server up. We'll see it later what is in details API server, but we saw that in previous video in high level. And after that we just install kubectl like we did it before, wait that the cluster is ready, and finally run a kubectl get node. So maybe we just add here, we want to wait, for example, 10 seconds here to be sure that we have a cluster up. So the first function, install k0s, it's quite simple because this is like we did before. So the curl, the k0s install controller -- single, and we start the cluster just after that. And after that, we have the function wait API, and we just run a while, and a while based on the curl on the API server. So this is the port of the API server here, 6443. This is the port of the API server, and we retry to have the 401 return code, and we wait until we have this return code. So this is really important to wait, and we print a dot. You can see just a little tricks to display an animated output, and sleep 1 second before to print the dot. And after that, we install kubectl. So the order is not really important here. The order of function is not important here because the order is just important when we run the function or launch it, but not before. And after that, we install kubectl like we do previously. So the curl to download the binary, the install command to push the binary into our path. After that, I create, I ensure to have the .k0s directory in my home directory. I want to be sure that this is the Vagrant user to be owner about this directory. I copy the kubeconfig file. I ensure to have the kubeconfig file as a Vagrant owner. And I set the kubeconfig environment variable, like here. And just after that, I wait ready. What is wait ready? This is like when we deploy the server in a cluster. We just want to have this server in the status ready. So here we just use tricks with the kubectl command. We use the kubectl wait, and we wait for here the status to be ready. And this is a condition. I want to have this condition to true. So we wait to have this condition to true for the k0s 10. Okay, so now we have all the stuff, and we can just run vagrant up k0s 10. we have our prompt. So of course I want to install the cluster now. So we download again the box. So previously we already download the box, so this is fast, of course. And now Vagrant wait to have the virtual server up. And after that, I take a few seconds. After that, Vagrant can connect with SSH with this user, Vagrant, and its own private key. And now it's okay, and Vagrant can configure the server specifically for our usage and run shell script provisioner here. And this is the output of our install dash, for example, install dash xavkey.sh and stuff like that. We wait again, and after that we will have the provisioning about our Kubernetes cluster. So we can see here, this is a curl about the K0s binary. So the download, it's easy and fast, I think. Again, okay. And after that, we have the K0s start. K0s controller, install controller dash single, and the K0s start. And again here, I think we don't see it, but it's just the download about the kubectl command. So we have a check about the node. So the node is not up, and you see the node is not ready at the end because the shell script, I think the shell script has been too quick. So now I can connect on it, Vagrant SSH K0s 10 here. Okay. And after that I can run kubectl get node, and now we have our cluster. So I think we can add a sleep before, just to wait to be sure that we have the cluster up when we connect on it, but I think it's not a problem. If you want, you can have this script in the description about this video. Don't forget to like this video, comment this video, and subscribe to the channel to support me. And I see you in the next one.